Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy J Suave. I'm the host of J Suave TV, and this is my third time trying to record this video. I've been trying to get this video out to y'all for the longest, but everything's been sabotaging me. First of all, Disney Plus. Why the hell would y'all drop this series at 9 p.m. on a random Tuesday? Mind you, it's not like they only dropped one episode. Nah, they dropped 3 whole half the length of a movie-long episodes back to back to back. Who was watching that all in one sitting? Nigga, I got work in the morning. I got through about an episode and a half last night before I had to crash, but I finished those 3 episodes today, and all I can say is Marvel might have found they won with this TV show. You know, I looked at this list of TV shows that Marvel has dropped, thought about some in my head that aren't on this list, and I've watched, of course, because Lord knows I ain't watched all of them shit. And I thought about this before I finished the episodes, but more so after I finished too. And I'm like, does Ironheart lean towards being one of the better Marvel shows, like a Loki or WandaVision, or like Dumpster Fire Territory and Secret Invasion? And contrary to what a lot of these hating ass reviews will tell you, we about to talk about them, this show's leaning on being one of them ones. Don't let none of these bogus reviews fool you. Shout out to Comic Book Click on the Source, because we literally got haters review bombing this series before it even went up on Disney Plus. The way people be having time to hate like this is insane work. Be the same people who jack they don't care about this series, it's gonna be trash anyway. I be having the most to say in these reviews, tearing it down for what? That shit don't do nothing for nobody but the person who's considering watching the show, had hesitancy, but at least was considering watching until they seen your badass review on something that you did not watch. You're ill-informed. All you saw was a black woman as the lead of this show and you got in your feelings. That shit is weird. I need to get reevaluated and find God. But I'm not here to focus on the hate in this video. I really want to get into Ironheart for y'all. I just wanted to talk about how ridiculous it is that this review bombing shit is actually a thing, and really honing on that first point that Comic Book Click highlights in this post. If you already had it in your mind to watch this show before you seen all these negative reviews, go ahead and just watch anyway. That way you can make your own informed opinion on whether you really mess with it or not. Imagine you didn't watch insert great show here because somebody said the ending was trash, or because one person said they didn't like the way a character looked. Don't that sound crazy to you? So yeah, man, really disappointed in the fans, but I can't say I'm surprised. But anyway, all that bullshit aside, we here to talk about Ironheart and why you definitely need to be watching this series. With all those things said though, before I get into this yap session, y'all already know what y'all gotta do. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Do all those things right now. And let's go ahead and talk about that Ironheart greatness. We start off the series following best friends Riri and Natalie in what appears to be a flashback. In this flashback, we get both of them asking what they want out of their lives. Riri's dead set on creating this suit to promote safety and honor Tony Stark's legacy. And all Natalie wants to do is be happy. Such a wholesome goal. But unfortunately, similar to my goal of wanting to flip my $1 parlay into 8 mil, that shit is very uncertain. I'm talking about very. We learned that Riri had to experience the death of not only Natalie but her own father, back to back, both in front of her face by way of drive-by. So far, I think this series has done a great job of showing Riri navigate this loss, especially in the flashback setting. You see, every time Riri has a flashback of the events that went down that day, she can't even fully relive them, and she immediately starts to panic just at the thought of what happened to her pops and her best friend. But to avoid thinking about that, she puts all her time into her work and making this perfect suit. Like I said, supposed to pay homage to Tony Stark and promote the protection that he was looking to do with his own suit. I was real happy to hear that too. I'm glad this man Ultron did not stain my GOAT's legacy and really almost brought destruction to the whole universe. The narrative on Tony Stark's name would have been completely different. See Riri doing anything she can to get to $1 on campus. Whether it's selling her inventions, doing people's homework for them, whatever it takes to get to that $1 in order to make this perfect suit that she's envisioned in her mind, she's gonna do it. And she sees higher for herself. To her, MIT is small, Chicago is small. She's trying to go big and do something iconic. But unfortunately, her school is not jacking that. The second they heard plagiarism, they said her ass gotta get out of there. They expelled her on the spot. And one thing I didn't like about this interaction was I feel like the counselor, she was trying to break down to Riri everything that led up to this point and allow her to understand why they're making the decision that they're making. Meanwhile, you got this dick rider to the left just instigating the situation. The counselor lady's telling Riri they don't promote plagiarism, and she's like, so I'm expelled? This man gonna go effective immediately. Nigga, who asked you? I really love seeing Riri get her get back by collecting the suit that she made with her own money and getting the hell up out of it. Literally blowing them niggas off. Imagine how much she paid to make just this suit. You gotta think a pretty penny, right? She paid all that money and the AI inside of it was so trash. She had a lesser version of Timu Jarvis as that AI. He didn't even know how to get her to Chicago. Jarvis is doing little shit like that in Iron Man 3. Alright, I fake lied. He is trash, but he did end up getting her to Chicago. When she gets back, people of the town are clowning her, calling her Iron Lady and making jokes at her expense like she didn't just fall multiple stories out of the sky. Have some sympathy. It's no doubt in my mind this is the part of Chicago that King Von came up in. We see her catching up with her mom, who's confused as to why she feels like she needs to build this death machine. And Riri's response to anybody who asked this is basically that she just can, but we know it's a deeper truth to that. Obviously, she has a respect for Iron Man, but this is something she feels like her pops would have wanted her to do. All in the name of helping people worldwide. See early on that she's fiercely committed to this goal, selling a car that her and her father worked on back in the day to provide more funds towards this suit. But the tagline of this series is so accurate. Every dream has a cost. They do such a great job at the beginning of the series on emphasizing the negotiation aspect of this show. Everybody's trying to do a bribe, make a negotiation, all that from Jump Street. And I really do mess with that early consistency. The cost of these bribes range anything from $40 to move Riri's Iron Man parts that fell off of her as she skydived into the streets of Chicago, to her crib, to pulling out pen and paper on millionaires, to not just secure niggas a cut of what they making, but whole full-on salary. See that with the Hood's character later on. We gonna talk about him. But first we gotta talk about Natalie. Not to confuse with Riri's best friend who died before the series even began. I'm talking about the new AI in Riri's suit. I think it was episode 1 where Riri repaired her Iron Man suit and left it to charge. It took like 4 hours to get the Iron Man suit back to 100%. Power deadass went out on the whole community. I know they be sick every time she pull up from college. And now she here full time. Shorty just got expelled. That's tough. Wakes up the next morning to a fully charged Iron Man suit and this AI version of her best friend. Well, obviously she's confused, and at first she really don't mess with Natalie like that. But as these episodes pass, their bond begins to develop again as if this was the actual Natalie in front of her face. There are a lot of times in these episodes where Natalie is able to calm her down or coming in the clutch, really keep Riri in check and save her time and time again. I personally love how they develop in a relationship. As somebody who's on the outside who didn't know their relationship like that before she died, it feels like they're becoming best friends all over again, but also that they didn't really lose a beat. Yeah, Riri's hesitant at first. Obviously, this is not the Natalie that she knew and came up with. As somebody who's reliable, who's shown that she's going to be there for her, and has damn near, if not maybe more love for her than the actual Natalie did. But ultimately, it's not the same Natalie. It kind of goes in with the conversation she had with her mom in episode 2, I think, to bring back her dad in that same way. And she's just like, nah, I can't do that. I didn't even know how I did that with Natalie. At the end of the day, they're not the same person, but their relationship is portrayed really well, in my opinion, AI to human. Today conversations, like Natalie do not sound like AI at all. The part I like about Natalie the most is that she's not operating as a typical AI like the pencil did earlier on in the episode. She's challenging Riri time and time again, telling her you need to look into the hood, you need to do things this way, really spawn her own opinion, which makes Riri questions the decisions that she's making with this new group that she just found to get to Quick Cat, which leads to her questioning her morality and leaning on this AI more than she probably expected to. Speaking of the hood, we gotta talk about Parker Robbins, aka the Hood. After a heist gone wrong and seeing Riri in the Ironheart suit in action in real time, my son Parker puts Riri to the test literally. When she passes, he invites her to join his group, where they get into some real paper, y'all. He literally set his gang up with life-changing salaries in just the second episode of this series. Now, Riri's along for the ride, of course, because like I said, whatever it takes to get to the bag. But the one non-negotiable that she will not put over a bag is the lives of human beings. She's not trying to ruin nobody's life doing her nefarious deeds, but Parker sees it otherwise. He moves recklessly and does whatever it takes to get to a bag. He has no morals. He comes off as this cool group leader looking out for the group's best interest. But even when he learns that there's nothing that he can really pin on this $1 millionaire that he's trying to rob, still gathers the team and tries to rob him anyway, losing his best mans in the process. That dude was a problem though. I think his name was Carlos or something. I ain't like how Buddy was moving with Riri, so low-key, I'm glad he's up out of it. As the tagline says, every dream has a cost, and this show does a great job of showing the lengths that people are willing to go to achieve that dream. One thing I've loved seeing so far is the dichotomy between Riri and Parker as the series has gone on. Also very curious about his powers too. Like, that's not just no base magic he got going on. I've seen that man back. That brother need a dermatologist ASAP. But if he's doing dark magic and associated with Mephisto like I'm seeing in these rumors, he's already cooked. Unless he fucking with the fake ass Mephisto from WandaVision, then he might be alright. Before I get into predictions for the next episode, I gotta talk about this man Joe, who is secretly Obadiah Stane's son. I know y'all remember Obadiah Stane from that first Iron Man movie, bro. That was Tony Stark's biggest op. Look at how he's looking at that first Iron Man suit. He was trying to rob Tony for filth. We get introduced to his son. He came off kind of sus to me at first. He really tried to flex on Riri's economic status before she showed him that Iron Man suit that she was working so hard on. Really put bro in his place. I liked seeing that shit. We learned he's been collecting these parts for a long period of time. Some that he probably retained from his father's exploits. See, he didn't touch them. I'm guessing it's because he didn't want to end up becoming like his dad, even though I think that's the path he's gonna go down, unfortunately. After Riri gave bro that talk no jutsu, bro's trying to make any and everything. I need him to relax. Nothing else, I'm looking forward to seeing where this newfound determination takes his character. I'm feeling a cool 8.5 on this series so far, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it's because Ryan Coogler is attached to it, but it's something about this Disney Plus series that's just different. First of all, the soundtrack, fire. Character interaction amongst the black characters feeling genuine. Not that woke shit that people be talking about. Constant negotiations and seeing how far these characters are willing to put their morality to the side to achieve their dreams. I like all of it. Shout out to Dominique Thorne, aka Riri Williams, aka Ironheart. She killing in the role as Ironheart so far. I know Tony started looking from them pearly gates cheesing from ear to ear. I didn't even show love to the missions they were doing in this episode, bro. That missions was crazy. Ready for episode 4 if y'all couldn't tell.